Hi everybody, I am back. Happy New Year. I've been away. Some people might have noticed I haven't done anything for a month. A month! All sorts of reasons, blocked videos, lots of work, lots of partying over Christmas. Well, partying. Being forced to go to family and then having loads of friends come here. It's like, time is a problem on these sort of things. To get anything done, you can't get anything done. People are in the way. Work is in the way. Things are in the way. But anyway, what better way to start a new year than talk about my top 10 albums of the year? Everybody else has done it, so why don't I do it? Hopefully I'll do it slightly better than last year, where I got one that wasn't in the same year. But hey, that's the way it works for me. Incompetence is sort of a throughput of what I do. Without incompetence, what am I? But anyway, top 10. This will be totally subjective, as everybody else has to say. It's totally subjective. It's what I like, it's what I've listened to, and it's not what I don't like, and it's not what I don't listen to. Something like that. I don't know. There's lots of albums out there. There's hundreds and hundreds that I've not heard at all, and don't own as well. And basically my top 10 has to be something I own a physical copy of. I feel it has to be something I own a physical copy of. If I like it enough, I don't just want it on digital. I want it physically in my hands as well. There's a couple of albums I bought on digital, and they don't often do it, but they were very, very cheap. One of them is pretty good. I might actually get the hard copy of that at some later stage, but that won't be in my top 10 because I downloaded it. It's like, hey look, Air. I'll put a picture on the screen. Yeah, not very exciting. But anyway, before I start my top 10, there are 3 albums from last year that can't get in there because I got them for Christmas. Hey, happy Christmas. It's over. Got them for Christmas. Christmas Day, I had about an hour to listen to 3 albums before it was all out, before we had to do lots of things. And then we went away for several days to family, and then when we came back late, so it was like almost home, have a drink, straight to bed. Wake up, people coming around, oh my god. And so, these 3 albums haven't really been listened to. I've listened to one of them once, and 2 of them halfway through. As I do this video, I'll have heard them all by the time this goes up on YouTube, so yes, I've heard them at least once, but it's just not enough, is it? Of course. I could have tried to cram them in and then done it and pushed them into the top 10, because I think at least 2 of them would definitely fit in there. First off, so these are honourable mentions from these 3 albums that might have got in there. Well, I think they would have got in there. First off, Leprous and Pitfalls. Leprous, a band I've been introduced to by you wonderful people on YouTube. Fantastic prog group. This album, very, very different to the music that you've introduced me to. I got a little bit obsessed with Leprous over the last few months. That nobody really knows because I've not really told anybody. I could have reviewed several of their albums. I think I probably will this year because I own 4 of them now. Yeah. Not the one that's got the big, huge epic that I listened to first, but I've got, what is it, Melina, which is the last one. I've got the one with Slave on it. Now I did a reaction to Slave, got blocked. I think people into Leprous would have liked my reaction to that as well. It got blocked. I'll find a way to put that up somewhere else at some stage this year. And I've got Coal, which I think is a more heavier version. So I've got quite a range of Leprous albums in the last few months. But anyway, Pitfalls. Wow. Listen to it once, like I say, all the way through. Below, I've done the reaction to that, haven't I? Yes. Below is absolutely amazing. The rest of the album, I think this has got to be listened to hard because it's very deep, it's very dark, it's very angst-ridden, and it's not a metal album. Even a progressive metal album. It's progressive in many ways, but it's not a progressive metal album. But it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Would it get to the top 10? I don't know. That's the thing. Has it got staying power with me, this one? The other ones are all like, whoa. This one I listened to and I was like, a little up and down on it. But, anyway, enough about that. I've got to carry on with these. Next one, in this case, but I've only listened to half of the. I don't even know if the discs all work. Yep, it's Insomnium, Hot Like a Grave. Ooh, I'll just blur the camera. Let's do that again. Let's blur the camera again. Can we do it again? Can we blur the camera again? No, I failed. Can't win everything. Anyway, this is a stunner. The first half of this album has been listened to on the vinyl. Second half on the vinyl hasn't been listened to. I've heard it all on digital, like I say. But it's pretty excellent. There's a lot more harsh vocals than in the previous album. Not the previous album that they released. The previous album before that. The one that's I like a lot, and I've forgotten the name of it because my memory is shit. But this is just a. The music is just so stunning. Harsh vocals on Blind Insomnium I can put up with most of the time because they're so low in the mix. It's almost like a distorted instrument in itself. It's just brilliant. The other album I've got is Bork Nagar and True North. True North! Thunderous kicks off the album. And I know because I was looking forward to listening to it Up North again because I just love that song. But Thunderous kicks in first before it, and it's just my mind. This album's going to be absolutely amazing when I finally listen to the whole of it properly. And I'll probably have listened to it several times, and I'll be going like, oh, if only. But by the time I would have listened to this properly and Insomnium properly and given it'd be 2 weeks further on into the year, and it'd be like, why are you giving us a top 10 now? So they don't all make it, unfortunately. These albums could be in the top 10. Well, would be in the top 10 in the case of Bork Nagar and Insomnium straight away if I'd listened to them properly. I haven't. I will. Promise myself. Look at them. Look at them. Things of beauty. But anyway, let's get to the top 10. But first, I must mention, I've reached 1,000 subscribers. How? Why do people want to listen to me? I don't know. They seem to just go like, hey, listen to some of the stuff I like. He's not terrible all the time. Most of the time, but not all the time. Subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Probably by the time I get this out, I'll be back below 1,000 subscribers. And by the time I start putting stuff back on the show, every time I put stuff on, my subscriber base goes down. I think you're trying to tell me something. Stop putting stuff up and we will subscribe. Okay? I'm not sure if that's what you're trying to tell me or if that's what YouTube is trying to do. But it's very weird. The more I put on, the less people are subscribed. It's just woohoo. But anyway, carrying on with my top 10, well, starting my top 10, the proper top 10. It's quite an eclectic little mix of metal and rock, I think you'll find. Is there any rock in there? Is there anything that I don't know. People classify all sorts of things. Classifications are all about just finding things that are similar to what you like. They're not really supposed to be set in stone. It's like people going like, that's not prog. It's progressive. It's not prog. It's progressive. It progresses. It's an argument that just goes round in circles, so whack it. But anyway, at number 10, Beast in Black from Hell With Love. Got their first album. Really, really loved the fun in that element. Words. Fun in that album. This is just as fun. Just as fun. 13 songs on there. I've got 2 songs, I say, bonus tracks because this is a cardboard thing, but you can still get this one, so I'm not really sure how bonusy it really is, but there's so many great songs in here. Cry Out for a Hero. I mean, Sweet True Lies, when I first heard it, I thought, wow, this is really cheesy 80s stuff. But, you know, it's nice bouncy back. It's the sort of thing you can go like, I feel like something light and frothy, but not proggy in any sort of way. Let's put on a bit of Beast in Black and just, yeah, to it. Awesome album. My second album, which has just fallen on the floor. So, you know, I'm really good at this sort of thing. We've got Soilwork and impossible to pronounce names like Verlichten. I think it's Verlichten. Is it Verlichten or Verlichten or something like that? Melodic death metalers. Harsh vocals in this ain't really that harsh. He's sort of, his raspy voice is not really got a full on raw, growl anyway. But things like Arrival, Full Moon Shoals, Stelfalvel, love Stelfalvel, can't pronounce the name. The Wolves are back in town, Witham. Bash, bash, bash over the head. Pretty much all the songs on here, apart from a couple, I absolutely adore. It's a fantastic album. It was a great way to kick off. I mean, both of these albums basically came out start of the year, and they're both still in the top 10. It's like, wow, how did they do that? And speaking of coming out at the start of the year, Evergrey's Atlantic is my number 8. Evergrey, their last album, can't remember the name of because I always forget their names, was okay. The album before that was freaking amazing. This gets them back on form for the most part. The first 3 songs were their lead singles, Silent Dark, Weightless and All I Have, which was strange to me that they, you see that on some bands sometimes, they release the first few tracks as their main songs, but All I Have is a bit ordinary. Silent Dark and Weightless are a bit fucking stunning, and there's quite a lot of this album which is like epic, pompous, melodic, superb metal. If you like heavy metal, if you like melody, if you like crushing breakdowns, and if you like a little bit of progression here and there, can't do much more wrong than Evergrey. The Atlantic, stunning album. So, number 7. Speaking of crushing, we have Swallow the Sun, When a Shadow is Forced into the Light. And yes, I just read it because I keep going shadow. I can never remember the rest of the album name. There it is, though. Just to prove it. Woohoo, there it is. Doomy, gloomy, boomy. It's like, it's a progressive, melodic, death, doom metal band. I think that basically covers the bases. So atmospheric, so dark, so depressing, so dreary, so amazingly upbeat at the same time. The music in here is just, wow, stunning stuff. Love it to bits. Swallow the Sun. Carrying on. This is the number 6 album of my albums of the year. Recognise it? Yeah, of course you do. Rammstein, with Rammstein, and I tend to call it Deutschland. First single off it, and when you say, did you listen to the Rammstein album? It's like, which one? No, Rammstein. Yeah, which one? Deutschland. Oh, you mean the song? No, it's the fucking album. Rammstein, back. It's in my top 10 because it's Rammstein. Rammstein never fail to produce when they release something. It's blooming great. Absolutely blooming great. Each one's a great little stomper. It's a lighter one than Liebesfall da. I think it's more a Rosenrot style because I feel the stuff in there is a bit lighter, a lot more melody in there than the last album. Not as good as the last album for me. Like I say, Liebesfall da had a lot more stompers, a lot more heavy stompers than this. It feels a little bit lighter, but of course I saw people going like, oh, I wanted something more. It's like, yeah, maybe. Can Rammstein do anything different? I mean, the thing is, the music works, and they write, they create, there's different sounds going through these things, but they are what they are. They produce the same thing, and they produce it really well, and lots of these songs stack up to previous songs, no problem at all. The whole album is basically marching music, just like all of Rammstein's albums, and this marches straight into my heart. I didn't even write that down. I just did that ad lib. That's how good. This is the quality you're watching. It's the quality you're watching. But anyway, we're into the top 5. So, time to get complicated mind fuckery. It's Devin Townsend's Empath. This is progressive metal. This is definitely something you need to sit down and listen to hard. There's still a couple of songs on here I truly, truly hate. I mean, I did a review of it around somewhere on my channel, but there were songs on here that make me go, wow. The amazingness of this album is just stunning, but the some of the stuff on it is also a bit... but he basically threw the kitchen sink at this album. Everything you could think of is in here. Every sort of sound you could think of. It's just schizophrenic to the nth degree. But, it's a big but, the melodies, in the main, the melodies, the hooks, they're all there. Sometimes bands have a style of just crazy chaosness that I cannot get the hook, I cannot find the melody, I cannot get it into them. But for this one, for the most part, the melodies are there. When he goes off on crazy little moments of like cluttering everything up into your mind, so your brain's going like, what the hell? It breaks out, melody hits. It's like, wow. Rhythm hits. Wow. Something just hits you. And it's there. It's all there. If you like progressive music, if you like metal music, if you like Devin Townsend, you should have had this by now. If you haven't, give yourself a try. Go for it. Well worth it. So, at number 4, we're getting Sunshine. We're getting Ibiza Trance. We're getting Gent. Well, what? Yeah, it's like from the Sunshine State in Australia, Perth. It's Voyager, Colours in the Sun. I bloody love this album. It is fun prog. It's danceable prog. It's jumping around going, woo, it's prog in it. It's like, wow. And of course some people will claim that it's not, because they always do. But who cares? Who cares about what they say? Just care about what you like and what I like. And this stuff is just fantastic. They're getting lighter and lighter with each album, I think, because I got their previous album last year. Not from last year, I think it was the year before or something like that. And it's a bit darker than this, but it's got poppy elements to it, it's got rhythms to it, it's got melodies to it that make you go, woo! And this has got even more. This is basically like new wave meets gent. It's like, hey, let's get some staccato riffs going over something going, hey, it's bright today, yay, yay, yay. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird, but it really works. This is just another one of those you can dip in and out sort of ones. How you're feeling. If you're feeling like with Beast in Black, if you're feeling like turn your brain off, fun metal, perfect. If you want slight little challenging moments within your bright dancey bits, then this might just be the one. Especially if you like a bit of synth and stuff in there, because there's lots and lots of synth going on in that album. So now we're on the top 3. What will they be? Surprisingly. But number 3, we've got Opeth, Encoder Venom. Yes, I would have gone for the vinyl, but the vinyl version over here was, I could only find the English one or the big set with which cost a fortune. I wanted it in the original Swedish. Mikael Åkerfeldt said it was originally written in the Swedish. It was meant to be in the Swedish, but of course he did an English version for all those people who need the English spoken word. I'm not really a lyric snob in the sense that I need to know what each of the lyrics are about. Although of course this is in English and in Swedish. I haven't listened to the English version at all. I had a reaction to I think it was Dignity. On my channel, the English version. But I've listened to the Swedish version of the album. Why not? It's what it was meant to listen to for, and I listen to a lot of stuff from Japan and things like that. It doesn't bother me if it's in a foreign language. I'm in it for the music and the feel of the locals. This album is a lot heavier than those previous albums. They've put a lot more heaviness in there. Yeah, there's no growls, which is good. I'm not really a fan of his growls. There's 1 or 2 songs that I've heard with him in. I mean, he's got growls and he's got cleans in most of his songs, where they've been fine because the cleans have been the more dominant part, and I've enjoyed that. This album, wow. One of the best prog metal albums of the year? Is it prog metal then? Debates! But you just love them. I love this album. You haven't got this album yet, if you're an Opeth fan, and you haven't got it yet, you're missing out. Down to the top 2. Top 2 probably going to surprise people, or probably not. It depends if you've actually been with this channel at all. But my number 2, Soen, Lotus. I just love this album. What can I say? It's my number 2. So yeah, I love this album. Every single song on it is fantastic. It's one of those albums I can just... almost every album I've got, there's a song that I go, yeah. Eventually maybe they'll be the same on this, but I've had this quite a while now. It's just not got boring at all. I've loved every single song on it from the moment I had it. I still love every single song on it now. It's hard to put in words in a few, because I've got to do this really quickly. I haven't done it that quickly, have I? It's hard to put in words the quality of this album. It's just bloody wow. Finally, my number 1 album of the year. Could be quite a surprise. Possibly. Some people will be going, well, some people will be watching to go, who? Stella Darling. The Spell. Wow. From the moment Insomnia hit, the first song from it hit in 2018, I was like, oh my god. I'd heard a couple of their progressive tracks on their first album. The first album was mostly simple songs, really. There was some commercial stuff, there was some hard rock stuff, and there was 1 or 2 progressive songs on there. And I was going like, oh, if they go down that route, oh my word, will they kill. They killed. This is chock-a-block quality all the way through. But this isn't one of those albums that you can basically dip in and out of. Apart from Insomnia, which I think is the standout song, you can listen to that on its own and just be wowed. The rest of the album sort of flows into each other. Each song sort of flows, and it's almost like the song that came before it. Everything, it's really hard to pick out song highlights. Moments highlights within the whole structure are many, but purely out of the song itself, only Insomnia really stands out as a little beacon at the top. The rest is all pretty much, it's like, oh, which song was that from? Oh, which song was that from? Oh, that moment that happened in. Oh, the whole album is just huge, structured, progressive, rock metal brilliance. You can't put it down. You put it in the machine, it plays. Can you stop it? No! No, you've got to listen to the whole thing. It also comes with an extra disc, this one anyway, an audiobook explaining the story, because of course it is a concept album. My number 1 concept album. This is a stunner of a song. Folky, metal-y, rocky, progressive-y. Anna Murphy's vocals, wonderful, of course. Hurdy-gurdy action. If anybody knows Anna Murphy from her days with Elvity, yes, hurdy-gurdy, pianos, flutes, you know, all the usual things going on with their folky stuff. But this is much more a progressive rock metal album. That's my top 10. Whoa, got through it. Possibly too long. There might be 1 or 2 edits, who knows. I know, because I've got to edit it. But I'm back! I look forward to seeing the subscriber base drop like a stone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do more tops over the next couple of days, weeks. See you for another one soon. Hope you have a great new year. Listening to me. No? Okay. See you soon. Bye.